Season's greetings to you, our lovely viewer. We hope your holiday is coming along nicely. This marks the last episode for the great year we've had. Maybe we pause and reflect on the year it has been.
I went straight into business from the age of 20.
I want you to be better than me.
I broke the African record.
So is your favorite show, Millennial on the Move. To start us off, let's hear the passionate environmentalist and climate change activist putting Kenya on the map.
My name is Elizabeth Wathuti. I am a youth climate activist from Kenya. I have done a lot of soul searching about what to say here today. I have asked myself over and over what words might move you. And then I realized that making my 4 minutes count does not rest solely on me. My truth will only land if you have the grace to fully listen.
My name is Elizabeth Wathuti. I am an environmentalist and a climate activist. I am also the founder of Green Generation Initiative, where we work with young children, especially in schools, to help them love the environment and also to teach them about climate solutions, because climate change is a problem, but it also has solutions that young people and everyone else can be able to lead. And that's what we teach the children to be able to do even within their own school compounds. And I also work with the Wangari Maathai Foundation, and I'm currently leading the Wangari Maathai Youth Hub that is focused on helping instill in Wangari Maathai's character traits into young people. And one of these traits is courageous leadership, because for us young people to be able to keep using our voices in this space, we need to have courage. We need to be able to step up and stand up for the right things, even when we are standing alone. And so being able to have this space where we can nurture young people, mentor young people to be able to understand that they can make change happen has been really important in this space. And apart from that, I've also been advocating for climate change issues on a global platform. And just recently, I was at COP27, where I was also championing climate issues and also really asking people to remember that the climate crisis is affecting so many people right now. And we can see it even in our own country, where we have different counties that are facing the ongoing drought situation. And we know that even when the rains come, some of these communities and some of these counties are going to be affected by the prolonged droughts. And this tells us that the weather events are actually becoming very extreme and unpredictable, and this has been greatly contributed by climate change. And so being a voice of change and being a young person who can also use my voice to champion for these issues on a global platform and to also remind people that we can be a part of the solution has been really important for me. And this has been a journey that I started way back, even since I was in primary school and high school, because I was leading the environmental clubs in primary school and high school.
I'm Cheryl Mboya. With regards to my milestones or other achievements this past year, I've been able to work with the Kenya Airways through the Fahari Innovation Hub. Last year, I was able to work with them on another innovation where we had several innovators apply towards the Fahari Innovation Challenge, and I emerged a finalist during the challenge. Fast forward this year, I approached Grace Vihenda, who's the lead in the Innovation Hub, and I was able to have a conversation with her about the innovation and, take her through the various ways we could forward the partnership with Kenya Airways. So currently, this has been a milestone, or rather an achievement, given that this will be the first airline to completely phase out plastics if this particular innovation is implemented. I was also nominated to the Forbes Africa 30 Under 30, where I was able to move up despite not making it to the final list. So it's rather an achievement to be able to be listed as one of Africa's pioneering youths. The other milestone I've achieved is with regard to the Kenya's top 35 under 35, where I was a shortlisted finalist at the environment category. And within the past 1 month, I was able to get a global platform to be able to speak about SDG Goal 14, that's life underwater, and how best innovation comes into play, where I was able to address the United Nations Ocean Conference. I was able to give a statement at the in front of plenipotentiaries, diplomats, distinguished members of the public and private sector.
It's time the world wakes up and acts. It's time innovators provide solution mankind and environment urgently needs. It's time world wake up.
My experience within the global arena has been great. I was able to get Kenya Airways to fly me to Paris, which is one of their European destinations. And after that, I was able to get to Stockholm and to Lisbon for 2 different UN conferences. So I was able to attend the Stockholm Plus 50, where I was able to now debut the Snack It innovation. And I was also able to have a conversation with the 4th President of the Republic of Kenya, that's His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, where we were able to have several talks about how best to forward and further the innovation.
His Excellency is looking at the grid. Let's rush down to the Stockholm signboard.
And I was able to give a statement at the UN Lisbon conference, Ocean Conference in Lisbon. I mean, it was quite a good experience having plenipotentiaries and members of the private and public sector, listen to what you have to say, listen to your innovation. It was a humbling experience and also a really great experience.
One thing for fact is self-employment is not a career choice, but a lifestyle choice. How about we hear from millennials in business?
With this chicken business, it's something that I already knew. So when COVID came in 2020 and our jobs were gone, I thought maybe this is what I know and this is what I should do. And then I received a good reception, and that's where it all started. So I decided to do chicken. What I love most about this business is the fact that this business is like a therapy session to me. I mean, with COVID and everything, I mean, a lot of people were so much taken aback, some were depressed and all. So this was my getaway. That is the very first thing I love about this business. Another thing I love about this business is that you meet so many different people. Some are very benevolent, some are very good people. I mean, these are strangers that you only meet and they are perfectly nice to you. And just because of you giving them a good and them giving you money. But then you get that these people, they offer you even much more besides just that business. So what I really love about this business is that it's giving me the freedom to meet so many people that I didn't dream of meeting them just yet. So a typical day for me, I mean, I wake up, my alarm goes on at 4:30 a.m. in the morning every day. So when I wake up, the first thing is I dash to Mudhurwa Market. When I get to Mudhurwa Market, I get nyanya huko, nikipata nyanya huko, nyanya bondeka, I get mboga zenye zimebaki and all that. Take them all the way to Kayole, where we have the Kuku Kienyeji farm, where we hold our chicken. So I take it there so that they eat those. I mean, I do this specifically because these are indigenous chicken, and that is what they feed on when they're at home. They feed on locally acquired food, not feeds or anything. Immediately after that, I'm back to town. I help my aunt open up the open air market, and then from there, I pick the orders that we had previously. I take the chicken meant for those orders, come to the house, and dress this chicken, package, and then by 10 a.m. I'm always on the road for deliveries.
Those are real nuggets of knowledge, so just know that CEO Collins Kathuli is just 21 years old.
I'm Collins Kathuli, CEO and founder at Kianda Africa. Kianda is a Kenyan and a South African fintech. We've built a neobank offering that gives both individuals and businesses an efficient way to manage their finances. I am born and raised in Machakos. So I joined Machakos Primary School, and I think back then my goal was to be a news anchor. You know, when you were young, you used to say, when I grow up, I want to be a news anchor. But things changed along the way. So I remember I used to borrow my mom's mobile device, and I used to close down, a room's curtain, then I start imitating news anchors. And now in this process of taking these videos, I had to look for a way, to edit these videos. So that's when I began editing the videos on an old compact computer, if you remember those computers then. So I started editing, and that's how I gained my interest in computer, because the moment I was, editing these videos, I had to Google, how to do this, how to do this. But now, after I've done the editing, you had to upload this content somewhere. So I started researching how I could build a website. So using the online available tools, the drag and drop, I built my first website, though it wasn't hosted anywhere, because by then I didn't know what domain hosting was. So that was typically around class 8. So once I was done with primary school, I joined Lukenya Boys High School, and I chose computer studies as a subject, only to realize that this was the subject that would explore my talent in programming. So remember, I was editing videos, I wanted to upload them on our website, so I started now doing the real code, using Google, using YouTube, and the available online tools. So that's when I built my first website around Form 2, to be precise. Then I uploaded my content. Then from there, since my news anchor or Zeal was out, now I started focusing now on computer programming.
And as we take a commercial break, I have a rhetorical question for you. What were you doing at 21 years of age? Welcome back to your favorite show, Millennial on the Move. On this bit of the show, we will be catching up with millennials embracing digital art, commonly referred to as content creators. I don't know who impressed you, but take a look.
Welcome back. So we're gonna go to the highlight I was talking about. So for my third class tour, because I'm currently on my 4th dance tour through Africa, but for my third, I was able to go to Japan. Like, I don't mean Japan in Nigeria or anything like that. I mean like Japan, like the country in Asia. I was able to go to 3 cities. I taught about 5 classes. I went to a couple clubs out there. Like, the energy there is so beautiful. They love Black culture when it comes to dance hall, when it comes to Afro street styles. They're constantly craving for it. So it was a beautiful, amazing experience, and I'm gonna go again this year. The first one, I went just the US, so I did 5 states in the US. Then the second one, I extended to Canada, so I did North America. And then the third one, Japan. Then the fourth one is Africa. Hopefully this year, I'm also gonna do Europe. I've done official dance videos, yes, for some of the big names. I've performed with the likes of Burna Boy. I created the official dance video for Wizkid's Ginger, his single with Burna Boy. That's on Wizkid's platform. I've performed with Yemi Alade. I've worked with Mr. Easy. I've worked with so many people. Olamide, I choreographed his concert when he came to New York. I've worked with Jadena, I've worked with Davido, I've worked with Tiwa, performed with Tiwa. Yeah, I've done a lot. As a dancer, or even as a content creator, focusing on your brand and focusing on creating your brand. Majority of the work you're gonna get is dependent on how you present yourself to the world. So if, let's say, you wanna work with Disney Channel and your content kind of has to translate to Disney Channel, so it's easier for them to work with you. So for example, if let's say you're a dancer, but then your content shows you doing taxes for some reason, that don't make no sense, you understand? So it's you have to work on your brand, you have to work on how you capture yourself, the type of music you dance to, even down to the fashion, down to the type of pictures you take, down to, how you even choreograph, the people you work with. Everything needs to be intentional so that the work you get translates with your brand. So if you want to work with the biggest names, you need to move like a big name. You understand what I'm saying? Be yourself though. Do not fake a personality, because then your brand becomes a job, because you're putting too much effort into creating a persona. You should brand yourself, monetize your personality, and trust me, the people that will support you will be there for a very long time.
Building a platform outside of my country, in a country so far from where I'm from, was actually unexpected, but it happened very organically, like very naturally, because my boyfriend at the time was Tile Pagbro. I'm sure all of you know him. So he was kind of popular already. Not when I first met him, but when I came back the second time to Kenya, he had blew up already. Like Cardi B had posted him, Justin Bieber had posted him. Anyway, he was kind of big already. So me being his girlfriend and also dancing and making content for social media, even though I didn't have like a big platform back then, like it all helped develop my career and gaining a following that eventually built the platform that I have today. So it happened very naturally, and I didn't expect it when I first moved back to Kenya, but now I wouldn't change it for anything, honestly. And with the platforms, of course, I get to broadcast my dance and choreographies to a wider audience. That's why I think I'm one of the most recognized dancers right now in Kenya, even though I'm a foreigner. But I put in the work and I make sure that I'm seen and that I put out content for people to consume, and I think that's like very well received in every area. So yeah, I'm just thankful to all my followers for that.
Alafu nimeacha mama yangu kwa nyumba. Alikuja kunivisit. Imagine alikuwa anataka kuchemsha githeri na gas. Nimempatia jiko hapo, nikamwambia kwangu sitakagi gas writing.
The challenges and the lessons I have learned so far as a content creator and also as an individual. One thing I would advise every person who is looking to be a content creator or just a social media person in the future is don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't compare yourself to that content creator whom you look up to. Just take your time. And then secondly, invest in yourself, and other people will invest in you. Invest in your craft, invest in your skills, invest in yourself as a content creator, and just make sure you have everything together, and other people will invest in you. And then I would say that it's easy to do great things, not only as a content creator, but also even as a person holistically. It's easy to do great things when you believe in yourself. First of all, I would say that my parents have really shaped me into who I am today. My mom, my dad, and those are people whom I really look up to. And then content creators, I love Mamito. I love Mamito. I love her so bad. She's one of the content creators whom I really look up to. Her consistency, her delivery, her content, every single thing about her is very fascinating to me. She's very impressive, and she's one of the content creators I love in Kenya. And special mention to guys like Flacco, who is my friend, Brenda Jones, people who have been very supportive of me even when I took a break, content creators who are ahead of me and very supportive, and who are also good at their content and what they do. Yeah, those are people I love in the content creation industry. In terms of music, I have my favorite artist and one of the biggest role models I have. Her name is Naomi Rain. She's part of Maverick City. And I love her so much. I love her. I would say she inspires me when it comes to music and gospel music.
Oh my God. Na unaniona gavara sana. Nimeangalia WhatsApp yako na inaniambia last seen 1 minute ago. Na uko hapa unajifanya umelala. Hebu amka, nataka unisaidie kinaki.
As I said before, I started doing content in 2017 and then 2018. And then in 2019, I took a whole year break. I disappeared from social media. I did not post anything on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on any platforms. I just disappeared. First of all, the break wasn't intentional because so many things were happening at that time in my life. And then let me just say, I had an encounter, and then my equipment, you know, everything that I had bought, my phone, my camera, my lights, everything, it was stolen. And then I was like, let me just sit back and then recover and then, resume doing content. And then as time progressed, even as I got a new phone, and even I was able to buy a camera later on, but then I realized that it was a break that I needed. Because, remember I was in uni, my grades were in the gutter. I mentioned before that I did not say it, I was doing biomedical science. I graduated last year, I was in Daystar Uni, and my major was kind of serious. It needed a lot of my time, a lot of my effort, a lot of my energy, and so did content. So at some point, I gave one of them more time, more effort, and more energy than the other. And I realized that I had really neglected my studies, and I had to do something serious about it. So in the midst of all that, I decided to take a break, concentrate on other aspects of my life, and I resumed doing content in 2020.
It has been an interesting year thanks to all the millennials who graced the show with their presence. We are super grateful. What we can promise about next year is Tupo Sight. Shout out to the behind-the-scenes team, editors Margaret Kinyanjui, Georgina Njoki, supervising producer Eustace Segete, and show producer Henry Wainaina.
I am unapologetically entrepreneur.
And lazima this time niweze na niweze na niweze.
Learn something new every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on KTN Home.